Welcome to Economics Today, where we debate current events and issues through the macroeconomic lens. We hope these debates will be edifying as well as entertaining. It's our aim to disagree without being disagreeable so that the discussion will continue and move thoughtfully through to solutions of modern problems. Now, our teams present two sides of a topic so that you, the viewing audience, will be better informed. Scoring for these debates cover 8 measurable categories and are more heavily weighted towards content than technique. However, it probably goes without saying that the effectiveness of the presentation is often what wins the day, especially when the debate is close. Today's topic on Economics Today debates the benefits and costs of the drinking age 21. We follow a modified classical debate style where the pro team takes to the podium first and speaks briefly in support of the drinking age. The con team then briefly presents their opposition. Both teams then alternate during a rapid fire round followed by 1-minute closing statements by each side. Visuals may be introduced at any point during the presentation. The drinking age 21. One of America's biggest debates is the legal drinking age. In 1984, the law was passed in every state making it illegal to sell alcohol to persons under the age of 21, and therefore a person has to be at least 21 to purchase or consume alcohol legally. Politicians and, of course, college students all have different opinions and views about what they think the legal drinking age limit should be and why. Economists decide to be in one of two groups on this issue. There are economists who believe the government-imposed drinking age is for the best, while the economists who disagree want the law abolished and very limited government interference in the marketplace. In economics, these two arguments were made by Keynes or the classical economists. Keynes would be in favor of the law 21. More benefits come out of it than costs. However, Milton Friedman would have believed the drinking age of 21 has more costs than benefits. Today's debate focuses on that issue of whether the drinking age should be 21 or not. First, the pro team argues in favor of keeping the policy, and they'll be relying on Keynesian economic theory to support that position. Secondly, the con team argues in favor of a free market solution to this problem, and they'll be using the classical economic theory to persuade us that the ban should be lifted. It's up to you, the viewers, to deliberate in your mind the facts and positions presented by both sides. Let's hear from them now.
Good morning. Today we'll be debating our views, a government-imposed drinking age. Our Keynesian view on the issue is we are for a government-imposed drinking age. Throughout this debate, we will inform you why government intervention is necessary, how it benefits the GDP, how it increases aggregate demand, and how new jobs are created. With statistics showing the negative effects drinking has on young individuals, it is imperative that the government steps in. We use 3 platforms to back our stand on this topic: brain development and binge drinking, education and the quality of the workforce, and crime and accidents. We believe these 3 topics have significant importance and show how the benefits do outweigh the cost.
Age 21 minimum drinking laws are counterproductive. There is much evidence that abolishing the drinking age would reduce the abuse of alcohol among young adults. The U.S. has the strictest youth drinking laws and has the most drinking-related problems in the U.S. There is a major connection between the two. Scientific evidence supports the fact that an early introduction is the safest way to reduce alcohol abuse. Abolishing the drinking age would make less of a taboo for new adults entering college and the workplace. Also, if there was no drinking age, it would take the thrill away that many young people get from breaking the law. Another important fact is that abolishing the drinking age would reduce the number of underage people who are hurt from alcohol-related injuries or accidents due to the fear of legal consequences if they sought medical attention. The question isn't where there should be controls, but which controls work best.
We all know the effects that alcohol can have on our bodies, but the effects that alcohol can have on our brain, being the negative impact on our reasoning and decision-making, may be the worst. Research shows that young people under the ages of their mid-20s already have an impaired ability to make decisions. During about the first 25 years of life, the frontal cortex of the brain is still developing. This part of the brain directly controls reasoning. Because of this, scientists say that young people are more likely to act on impulse, misread social cues, get into accidents, fights, and dangerous activity. Now I ask you, why give these already poor decision makers the choice to consume such a toxic substance that will only further inhibit their abilities? Not only does drinking in general negatively affect our minds, but binge drinking enhances this. Binge drinking has a direct effect on memory and long-term brain damage, as scientists have proven. Research shows that there has been an overall reduction in binge drinking since the drinking age has been set at 21 over 2 decades ago.
The National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism external website ICON defines binge drinking as the pattern of drinking that brings a person's blood alcohol concentration to 0.08 grams percent or above. Teenagers binge drink without knowing due to lack of information. What most kids do not know is that alcohol is a gateway drug. Binge drinking costs everyone in the United States. Medical bills, crimes, taxes are put on to United States citizens. Among 75% of alcohol that is acquired is consumed by binge drinking. Ages 18 to 21 have the highest binge drinking proportion, taking in a full 51%. A person who has been binge drinking is 14 times more likely to be at risk of impaired driving. By the time adolescents graduate high school, 90% of the students who will have already tried alcohol. Few will become addicted to alcohol also. The reason most people start drinking is due to peer pressure and teenagers thinking that it's cool. Teenagers are presented alcohol by their parents, ads on television, magazines, billboards, and adolescents become curious about alcohol due to these ads. Teenagers also believe that it will make them feel good and have less stress, yet it is hurting their bodies mentally and physically. Binge drinking causes numerous medical issues like alcohol poisoning, liver disease, unattended pregnancy, and many other symptoms and diseases.
Our education is what links us with our future and pursues the outcome of our dreams, hopes, and prosperities. Education is something we look at as a way to better ourselves, get better jobs, or possibly end up starting our own business. When alcohol is thrown into the factor, the majority of young kids and teens tend to drop on their grades. Studies show that approximately 2/3 of students that have mostly A's are non-drinkers, while nearly half of the students that have D's and F's are reported binge drinkers. While alcohol is a depressant that is used to relieve stress, the concept of drinking responsibly emerges as a factor that most teens and kids have not grown to know about yet. So long as adolescents continue to drink, the potential to perform well in school and on standardized tests may decrease. Research indicates that adolescents who abuse alcohol may remember 10% less of what they have learned than those who don't drink. High school students who use alcohol or other drugs frequently are up to 5 times more likely than other students to drop out of school. Schools are institutes of investment for the future of our community. Students represent that investment. These people who are our future are the next generation to be in our workforce. If the future of our pride has a lower educational standard than the present people of today, what would our future workforce look like?
Alcohol use has often been linked to criminal activity on both parts of perpetrators and as well as victims. Alcohol affects judgment, which affects reaction time, which leads to accidents. Car crashes are the #1 cause of death between the age of 15 and 20, and alcohol is involved in approximately 1/3 of these deaths. About 1,900 people under 21 die every year from car crashes involving underage drinking. With these liabilities on the road, insurance companies must charge a higher premium to cover the associated risks involved with insuring young drivers. These higher premiums spread through all driving classes because everyone shares the road with these young, inexperienced, reckless drivers. Higher premiums equal less disposable income, which equal less money to be spent on local businesses, which equal a lower GDP. As a result, it could equal higher unemployment. As proof, during the 1980s, the nation saw a direct reduction in alcohol-related crashes when the drinking age was raised. In effect, less accidents led to lower premiums, and lower premiums provided more disposable income, which increased the GDP and boosted the economy.
That isn't the problem. Teens already drink under the age of 21. It is the teens and their parents' choice and how their grades and education end up. Classical economists believe that it is up to each individual to make their own decisions and how it would benefit them, and it would indirectly benefit the economy. With that being said, it should be the people's right to decide whether the drinking age should affect their grades or not. The smart kids will still excel in school, as the incompetent children who let drinking affect their education could possibly learn from their mistakes and benefit themselves in the future. Like I have stated, there is already an underage drinking at the moment, and there is plenty of people maximizing underage drinking in high school. It therefore will not make a difference.
Those with a classical point of view do not promote binge drinking. It is those who are opposed of the MLDA of 21. This law was created to help eliminate binge drinking, but in retrospect, it has only promoted binge drinking. It doesn't simply affect those who are underage, but every citizen in America. Citizens in every age group binge drink. Why should the government punish only those under the MLDA of 21? By keeping the drinking age at 21, it eliminates the opportunity for young adults to learn to drink with parents. By learning to drink at a responsible age, which can be reached before the age of 21, parents can and will teach their teenagers that drinking alcohol is not all about getting drunk. Having a drinking age only pushes those who are illegally consuming alcohol to rapidly drink when they get their hands on the booze. It pushes consumption of alcohol instead of teaching teenagers the meaning of casually drinking. By making consumption illegal, it increases reckless actions and health concerns. An example of rapid consumption occurred during the Prohibition. Because alcohol was illegal, those who would participate would feel the need to sneak it and rapidly dispose of the product. Once alcohol was made legal in 1933, American citizens did not feel obligated to closet drink and rapidly consume alcohol. They would casually drink and ultimately drink less per sitting.
The pursuit to antagonize alcoholic vendors throughout the country is one of the main reasons why there are so many problems within our economy. Too much money is being spent towards incriminating the distributors. Undercover police officers performing sting operation towards these vendors is a waste of the economy's money. If there was no drinking age, there would be more people buying alcohol, increasing the velocity of our money and increasing our overall GDP. We would not have to promote the ads for underage drinking, thus saving the U.S. money and putting it towards more probable causes. Because there is the drinking age, black markets have been developed over time where minors are able to obtain alcohol, thus making the law ineffective and a waste of time and money. If the drinking age was lifted, all of the underage drinkers would not have to resort to relying on illegally obtaining alcohol. When the drinking age was set at 21, statistics show that there has been a decrease in the rate of binge drinking plus fatal car crashes. We disagree. Any increase in alcohol-related accidents for minors will offset by decreasing in alcohol-related crashes for 21 and older by eliminating the drinking age.
Even if accidents did decrease, what about the problem of binge drinking? In 2002, a study found 87% of their analysts found a higher drinking age associated with lower alcohol consumption.
Nonsense. If there was no drinking age, then people would have the opportunity to learn from a young age to control their alcohol consumption, therefore lowering the rate of binge drinking. Not only that, but crimes would also decrease as well.
That's preposterous. Due to their still developing brains, adolescents are more likely to engage in dangerous activity and crime. Allowing them to consume alcohol would only increase the natural instincts of crime rates.
We give the people the choice to make good or bad day-to-day decisions. Why not give them the respect to make their own drinking decisions and how to conduct themselves in that environment during or after the consumption of alcohol?
I'm sure that's not the final word on the issue, but it is the final word on the debate. Thank you for joining us on Economics Today. Remember, economics is everywhere.